Welcome to this episode with PyMath. In today's episode, we'll continue our series on Python variables, but this time we'll be looking at data types and arithmetic operations. We'll see some methods that we can apply to variables and the results we can get from there. This is important because there are certain applications that you might want to build with your coding skills in Python, and knowledge of this will help you to do that. You can help share this video. Those who are in your space who would like to get involved in coding in Python, you can make this available to them by sharing it across. You can also tell your friends who are interested in this to follow PyMath on Facebook. Tell those who are interested in this to follow PyMath. PyMath is a page on Facebook, and you'll get more of this. I'll share my screen right away so we can have a perspective on this. So today, we will go into Python data types and arithmetic operators. First of the data types I'll look at is the string data type. String data type is actually letters that come together to form words. They have their special syntax, and there's a way we define them in Python. You'll see that shortly when I will put up the code here on the screen. Let's say, for instance, I want to define a variable which I call name, but I would want to have it as first name and last name. Then I'll concatenate these together and later print to the screen so that we can have that printed on the screen to us. So I'll call the first variable here that I would define as first underscore name. So first underscore name, I will assign a string which I'll call John. Okay, you can see the way I have written John in quotation marks. You can use double quotation mark or single quotation mark. That is the way, but that's the syntax for string. So you must put that quotation mark. If you don't put it, Python will throw an error at the time you are asking to print this to the screen. Okay, so I'll define another variable which I'll call last underscore name. I will assign the string Gabriel. All right, Gabriel. Okay, now the third variable I would define here, I'll call that name underscore user. So name underscore user will be a combination of the first and last name, but there's a way I'll do this in code by concatenating first name and last name. Concatenation simply means joining. So I'll join them using a special way we write this code. So here I will have first underscore name, first underscore name. Then I'm going to concatenate this, but I need to create space so that I can have it spaced out. All right. Then I'll have last underscore name. Okay. So we want this printed on the screen. So how do we go about that? I'll call the print function, use the print function. And once I use the print function, I'll format it in a special way so that we can have that printed out to the screen. So I'll write print name. I want you to print this out. Name of user is, so I want you to print it in a special way. And then I'll say dot format name underscore user. Okay. Now, if I run this code, I'll have the result printed on the screen. And there it is. Name of user is John Gabriel. Okay. Now, all of what we have here is clear in the sense that, like what I told us in the last video, that variable names are just locations in memory. When we create variables, they are just locations in memory, which means that John is assigned to first underscore name, in which case first underscore name is the memory space for John. Okay. Now, last underscore name is the memory space for Gabriel. So you can see that as soon as I define a third variable and I assign the values that I concatenated the first underscore name and last underscore name, it was assigned to user underscore name. What it means is that user underscore name now became the memory for the values that first underscore name and last underscore name holds. And when we printed that to the screen, you can see it brought out John Gabriel. This other one here, name of user is, where special format that I added here. It's also a string, all right? And I formatted it so that it can bring it out in the way we should have it. So this is coding in Python. I just wrote this code in Python, following the syntax of Python, and we are able to get this. There are other data types that we can also see. For instance, we have data types that we call integers. Let's say I have I call num1. I assign the integer 25 to num1, and I define another variable num2. I assign the integer 35 to it. If I want to, let's say I define a third variable num3, and I need to add up the values I have stored in num1 and the one I have stored in num2. What I simply need to do is to say num1. I'll use the arithmetic operation, the addition sign here, so plus num2. Now, if I print num3, you will see that the result will be displayed on the screen. Now, printing num3, it returns 60 to us. What we can see here is that num3 became the memory space that housed the value of the addition of num1, of the values of num1 and the value of num2. So when we call for the value of num3 by using the print statement, it delivered that value to us as 60. So these are things you need to learn, some of these variables, and how to use the data types assigned to them, the arithmetic operators that you can use to get the kind of results you want, which you can also do when you build applications and some other things. We are not building applications here, but later on you'll find out that all this coding that you're learning will now be useful when you want to build some certain kinds of application. Let me take one more operation with integers. Let's say I have, I say num4. If I ask that num3 be multiplied, if I want to multiply num1 and 2, the syntax here, what we use, the operator here is the asterisk. We don't use the normal multiplication sign that we use in mathematics. Okay, but the way it is done here in Python coding is to use the asterisk for multiplication. So I'm multiplying num1 and 2. So what it means is that when this multiplication is carried out, the values that are multiplied in these variables, this num1 holds an integer. We saw that earlier on. Let's go back there. You see that num1 has the integer 25 and num2 holds the integer 35. So multiplying num1 and 2, the values they hold will be multiplied and assigned to in a new variable here, which we call num4. Now, if we want to know what num4 holds, we call the print function. And if you print num4 here to the screen, you'll see that that value will be delivered to you. And you can see that it gives us 875, which is the value of the multiplication carried out in num1 and 2. The values have been multiplied, and the values, this result was now stored here in num4. And when we call the print function, the result was delivered here on the screen. That's what we see printed out here on the screen. A lot are there for us to do. We'll have time again to look at several methods we can do with these variables and other arithmetic operators we can also use with variables. But we will have them step by step because it's a series. And that's the reason I said it is important for you to, you can follow PyMath on Facebook. If you follow PyMath, you'll have more of these because I'll be having a series on this. And you can also tell your friends too. They can learn how to code in Python by following PyMath on Facebook. I'll look forward to having another episode and there we'll discuss more of this. Hope to see you in the next episode.